If you find yourself always ending in relationship with people who reject you or doesn't want to commit, watch this video because perhaps it's something more unconscious that explains this behavior or this pattern. You might be thinking your compass is broken, I can't find the right person. In this video I'm going to explain how to repair this compass because it's not really about you, it's not about your value or your self-worth. It's about something different that I will explain in this video. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So yes, it keeps happening. Always attracted to the wrong partners. Sometimes your friends tell you that I don't think that's the right partner for you, but you don't want to look at those red flags. It doesn't make sense, right? You end up in a situation where you get hurt, where you suffer, where you get rejected. And rationally, obviously, we don't want to be in a relationship where people reject us. Therefore, it's something unconscious, something outside of our own consciousness when we are attracted, because attraction is very much unconscious. We think that we make rational decisions, but when it's about love and attraction, it's totally unconscious. And that's why we keep on doing this, because we don't understand why. Let me explain. The mechanic of rejection. Being rejected, and I want you to let me know in the comment section if you can relate, and perhaps we can start a conversation on this. When being rejected, we feel, I need to win this person. When we get a no, we want to fight. In a way, a lot of salespersons are like this. And it's very helpful if you're a salesperson and if you want to get new clients. So, if you have a prospect telling you no, you're going to fight. And your mission, the mission you have on earth, is to convert people telling you no into saying yes. In relationship, when that happens, it's often because your abandoned wound was triggered. So, in a way, you perceive love as a challenge. You perceive being in love with someone, having someone to love me, is a challenge. Because in a way, that's your experience of love when you were younger. You had to fight for attention, you had to fight to be loved in a way, in some way. And that's why you want to recreate this. So if we look at the psychology behind that, it's called repetition compulsion. It's the term that describes this pattern, and when we look at those different patterns, mastering trauma, unresolved issues, familiarity, and reenactment. The idea of this video is to explain why you function like this and obviously how to break away from this. So I'm going to introduce those four things, and then we'll discuss about how to change, because it's good to learn, it's good to understand, it's good, okay, but now what can I do to change? So mastering trauma. So it's the idea that you would recreate scenarios that look like original traumatic experiences. And the idea is that you want to rewrite the traumatic event. Okay, you want to overwrite in a way the traumatic event. And unconsciously, you're doing it because you have a sense of control. And that's the idea of making it passive to active, because it's in the background. You want to put it in front of you and try to replay, try to change the narrative. The problem is that it's self-perpetuating, because you don't get the outcome. You always end up with someone who rejects you, and that confirms this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. And the problem is that because it doesn't work, you want to do it again, because you're into this kind of, the more I do it, the better I'll become. Okay, that's how you master something. But the more you are confronting yourself with situations that doesn't work, in a way you're creating this vicious circle of, I'm going to do it again, and this time it's going to work. Unresolved issues is very interesting because it's really about, in a way, a manifestation of unresolved emotions or trauma or internal conflict. And in a way, it's your body telling you, okay, this is something important. This is something you need to heal. It's bringing your subconscious issues to the conscious level. So in a way, the pain that you're going through right now, perhaps after a breakup or realizing that you're making bad dating decisions, that's a sign, that's a wake-up call. Hold on, there's something that you haven't really healed or addressed, right? Potentially feeling of hurt, betrayal, abandonment, those things that you need to heal. Okay, it's very important because very often we associate pain with something that needs to be, that needs to be outside of our life. It's just a signal. It's just our mind, our body in a way sometimes telling us, hold on, there's something important here. Have a look there. Familiarity, which is obviously something very people understand very easily, is the idea that yes, this situation is not right for me, but because we've been exposed, because we know this situation, there's a sense of predictability. And predictability seems safer. Our decisions, very often, when they are made from the unconscious level, which is like most of the time, are usually based on safety. Usually based on safety. And so that's why you disregard the flags, the red flags, because you feel like, oh yeah, I sense a kind of safety. I know this situation. It looks familiar, and therefore if it's familiar, I'm okay going there. Way more than going into, dating people who are not familiar with your own sort of framework and dynamic. The problem is obviously, as we discussed even before, and all of those explanation, all those slides, it's a self-fulfilling thing. The patterns will reinforce itself because it's going to make it more resistant to change. Why? Because you're going to seek familiarity and again familiarity and again familiarity. The same way when we consume content, for example, we always end up with the same things, and you're probably watching a lot of my videos because it's going to be pushed to you in front of you, for example. It's the same in a way in psychology. When, I don't know if it's a good example, in psychology, when we are seeking familiarity, and the more we are sort of exposed to this familiarity, to those situations that we are aware, the unknown is even more scary. So it's really a question of how can you challenge yourself, stepping outside of what coaches call like outside of the comfort zone. The fourth one is reenactment. It's basically when we mirror past trauma or abandonment and we use our partner to help you replay those scenarios, right? And you hope that this partner, this friend, will provide you comfort, love, affection, instead of rejection. The problem is that when it's not achieved, when that person rejects you, breaks up with you, then you get an emotional depression. You get your belief system about your self-worth reinforced. I'm not good enough. Nobody will love me. And that keeps on repeating itself. So this is your life right now. It's a gift from Groundhog Day. I don't know if you know this movie. It's a classic. But basically, this guy, every single morning, wakes up and it's the same day. Again and again and again and again. I've used this image for you to kind of maybe have a visual reminder that you are living your life on repeat right now. So it's time to wake up. And I'm not blaming you, I'm not being mad at you. It's just I want you to be more self-aware. Yes, your compass is broken. You picked the wrong partner. Okay, fine. But you can repair it. And I'll show you how to do it. And obviously you need to repair this compass before dating, which makes total sense. You have to recognize and understand your attachment style, your background, your history, your childhood, breaking the patterns. Again, being really aware that, okay, I'm falling again, doing the same things, the same rituals, I'm sending the same message, I'm hoping the thoughts are the same, I'm projecting. It's very important as well to really spend a lot of time in terms of emotional processing. As I discussed, we want to leave the pain on the side and we don't want to deal with the emotions, but you have to unpack those things. It's also important to build healthier relationships, but perhaps get rid of some people in your life and really keep the ones who help you to sort of change those patterns. And sometimes some of your friends, your best friends, that you just need to, in a way, re-educate them. Change a little bit how you handle the relationship, how you are with them in a way. There's an element as well of self-compassion, growth, and obviously the one that will sort of help things, bring things together is to get some help, either from a community, from a therapist. It could be myself, it could be anyone. But to really, because it's very hard to analyze those things on your own. Emotional processing, it's very hard. You can't do it on your own. Recognizing and understanding, your story, you can do it on your own, and you can keep a journal. It's more efficient when you do it with someone. And again, I'm not claiming that you should necessarily work with me. There are tons of highly trained and amazing therapists out there, but it's very important, if you feel that you have an abandonment wound, to seek help. I've made a free guide for you if you want to learn more, where I will detail those elements for you to start working and having a structure if you work with a therapist, or if you're about to hire a therapist. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.